a lot of reliance on getting more money from potash, which has proven to be volatile. So, I mean, how can you rely on that to fund a lot of these projects?
Well, the projections, whether you're in the private sector doing an annual report or your projections are going forward or in the government of Saskatchewan, that's how you do budgets. You base it on your best information. RBC and the government's own projections of growth of over 4%. So that's what we're using. And that's how you do a budget. You have to base it on the best information you have at that time. If you look at the reports of the potash companies in Saskatchewan, they're calling the price of potash at above $500 a ton to be the new norm in the industry, with even expected higher prices going forward. They're looking at prices of $600 a ton. Their own projections for their own revenue would collaborate and would support what we're putting out
here. What if
here.
they decrease production here because they don't like the royalty structure, which is, I think,
Yeah, if you look at, again, the amount of profit they're making here, the Potash Corporation this year will make $3 billion in gross profits. And if we were to take some tens of millions of dollars of that, leaving them $2 billion, having worked in the corporate world, there aren't many places in the world you can make $2 billion a year in gross profits. And I've also had experience working in the former Soviet Union, and I know there are comparisons with Russia. And what you need to, the political security that you have in Saskatchewan has value. As compared to places in former Soviet Union like Russia.
I guess I'm asking, are you going to have to start negotiations with the potash companies to do this? Because first of all, a lot of that profit that you're talking about comes from the fertilizer wing, separate from the potash industry, which has been very successful. So the gross $2 billion profit isn't necessarily completely accurate in terms of money from Saskatchewan. Secondly, they've often threatened in the past, basically saying, well, if the royalties under the previous administration go any higher, we'll just do our business in Canada and elsewhere.
This is standard negotiations that companies do. I know when Danny Williams looked at increasing royalties on the oil companies when he was doing oil fields in his province, the oil companies threatened to leave, and he raised the royalty, and within a few months they were back hat in hand. And he negotiated a deal where he not only got his increase in royalty, but owned part of the oil production coming out of the field. So these are negotiations that need to be done in a sensitive way, in a reasonable way that benefit the shareholders here in Saskatchewan to get more than a nickel on each dollar of sold product. In our formula, it's less than a dime on a dollar, which is very, very low by industry standards. If you look at royalty on resources around the world, you won't find many places where you can get a royalty rate of less than 10%. That's what we're proposing as a low number. The more reasonable number is something above that. So we put in a very low number just so that we would be on the safe side.
But you're going to have to do that.